something really terrible has been happening to all the people I've had sex with. They're kind of dying.
I gotta say, I'm really excited to talk about this show. I watched the 7 episodes of it the other day, and I was just hooked from start to finish. It is funny. It is wild. It's so many great things. Andre, I'd love to start with you, and then Michael, what about it really hooked both of you to want to be a part of this show?
I like that it was like a dark comedy, but it's like fed to you like it's not. You know what I mean? Like it seems like it would, it's like kind of a twisted rom-com, which I like. I like that about it. It's just like, I don't know, the way it looks and presents itself, you wouldn't think that it gets is like kind of graphic at times or dark, I guess is the quick way of saying it. Yeah. So I think that's a cool thing about it. That's what grabbed me. Yeah.
And then Michael, how about for yourself?
For me, I just thought a couple of things. It has such a good hook. When the question is posed, like, why is this happening? You just want to know. So I felt like that was such a good engine for a show in general. And then the scripts were so funny and were so well written. And, you really read it. It really popped off the page. But when you actually started performing the scenes themselves, you would find this whole range in them. And I obviously love Ninotchka and Sally. Like I thought their sentiment, there were so many jokes per page, it almost read like a sitcom, like a back in the heyday kind of I guess broadcast sitcom, but it was, hate the word, but it's edgier, it's darker, and it felt like you had so much more latitude in terms of tone. Like you could really inject. And they did. They injected so much, it's so self-aware. Yeah. It's very self-aware in terms of like, it knows what it is, and it's not afraid to make fun of itself and also make fun of other things. It's not afraid to be politically incorrect. It makes like really good jokes, I thought. And the characters really come off the page too. So it was just exciting. It's like so rare you have, a show that could actually reach people that people could see, that's fun to be in and also, fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel it's like sort of like this dark twist in this Trojan horse into this sort of familiar sort of kind of showcase that people are used to in a sense anyway. And it's a way to trick people into something new and more interesting.
Yeah.
I think they're going to love it when they do finally get to watch it. And I'd love to talk about both of your characters' dynamics with Stephanie, because obviously, with Andre, you kind of don't like her, but you kind of also have an indifference to her. Whereas Michael, you start off on a really bad page with her, but as the show goes on, something starts to build there. I'd love to hear about what it was like for each of you finding that dynamic and rapport with her as filming went on.
Well, I think for Zach, for both Zach and Ruby, they're both kind of in each other's lives because of AJ. You know what I mean? Like they both kind of have to experience each other just because one's the best friend and one's the boyfriend. So they're just kind of they come with they are the sidecar that comes with either party, and then so they don't not like each other, but they're there. They're like, it's like a classmate. It's like, well, we're here together. So it's kind of like, might sit together at lunch at school, but not spend the weekends together kind of vibe. But then, as the show goes on, I don't know, everyone grows in their directions and everything. But I think that's the initial situation,
Yeah.
And what was it? Oh, my apologies.
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was, my apologies. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Michael. You go right ahead, please.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, Richie, I feel Richie and Ruby have, it almost seems like brother sisterly. Like there's a lot of negging and like, brutal honesty in their relationship. How I think what makes their relationship interesting is they sort of repel each other, and that's part of why they come close. He's one of the few people who can be brutally honest with her, and she's not afraid to be judged by him and him by her. Like they're very, at least baseline, take it or leave it. They're very take it or leave it with each other. This is who I am. I'm not, trying to impress, and they're not afraid to be themselves around each other. And I think that kind of lends itself to the dynamic going forward.
And I love the way that dynamic plays out. And I'd love to hear that and what it was like actually finding that dynamic with Stephanie, Michael, especially since, you know, I don't want to spoil anything, but there is something of a rom-com hidden in this show. What was it like finding that dynamic with Stephanie in particular?
I mean, I felt like Stephanie, it was such a great thing about watching Stephanie perform this character, because I felt like the voice of Ruby and Stephanie as an actor were such a perfect marriage. You know, Ninotchka and Sally wrote such a specific character, and when you heard Stephanie read it and say the lines and, you know, inhabit the character, it just felt so natural and authentic. So I don't know, I felt like our relationship was just very easy from the get-go. Like we also have like really sometimes heavy, long, funny, dark scenes with each other. So it felt just, I'll give you a good anecdote. Right when I auditioned, we couldn't get through a scene because we both cracked up laughing at the same thing. And that was just the audition. And that kind of spelled out our relationship from the start. Like right away, you felt like we were on the same page.
Yeah. And also Stephanie's cool to work with. She's like rooting for everything to work and trying to make it work, not like just like holding her place. So it's like she's an easy, nice person to work with.
I love hearing that.
Any situation.
Yeah.
I love hearing that, and I love that you had that moment in rehearsals, because like you say, that really just opens that door up to finding more chemistry with one another. I see I've got to wrap up already though, so I'll get on out of here. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I truly appreciate it. Like I said, I love this show, and I really can't wait to get the word out about it.
Awesome.
Oh, thanks, dude. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Take care, y'all.
Dating is already impossible, and now people are dying. It's like, can you?
I cannot.